This is the Scorpio, August 2015, love, relationship, and partnerships. Reading, and I almost had my cards upside down, which would be no good. Right. Scorpio, August 2015, relationships and partnerships. And we need an outcome card, and there it is. Choose one guidance card for your partnerships and relationships, Scorpio, for August of 2015. And in the background, you can hear my dog Jess complaining about the fact that she has to be quiet. Okay. And Scorpio, you start off your month with your partnerships and your relationships with temptation. So, this came up in the weekly reading for the week of 20th July, I think. For the general for everybody, so it was probably directed at you guys more specifically. So the thing to remember here is that what is being presented to you is just temptation. Temptation can lead you down a path you would probably in the future regret. Or if you just look at it as temptation, recognize it as that, have a bit of a laugh and a shrug about it. That is probably the better route to take. If you are going to go down this route, be sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. Think about it carefully. Think about the end result. Think about the repercussions. Know what you're getting yourself into. That's probably the most important message with this card. Okay. Your challenge in your partnership and relationships is the Green Man. So this is about getting back into contact with nature. This isn't about the green nature out there. That's about the nature in you. Get back into contact with yourself, your true nature. I think often when one gives in to temptation, it's as a result of having drifted too far from your own nature, doing things which are against your own nature. And your response is to give in to temptation in our very roundabout way that us humans do things. And one of the best ways to get back into contact with your own nature is, in fact, to go out there in the green nature. Put your feet on the ground without your shoes on. Look at the trees and the leaves and the birds. Breathe it all in and feel it again. Get back into contact with the core of you, who you really are before you did and became all the things that you felt you needed to be to serve the people around you best. Okay, and bubbling under the surface is the Fairy of Growth. So you guys are getting very close to the relationship reading of July 20th. That's interesting. So your partnerships and your relationships are about to have some form of growth. Something's about to change. This change isn't about, although the change may feel uncomfortable and negative, to put a label on it for you, that's not what it's about. What it's about is about for you growth. You're going to feel growth. This change will result in you growing in some way in partnerships and relationships. I think the interesting thing here is that there will be resistance to this growth. You will feel this change is something that you don't want. You're too used to the way things were and you don't want them to change. But this change is necessary. Okay, and about to surface is the Lady of Faith. That's a good card to follow up on this slide. So you've got to have faith in what this change is. You've got to have faith in where it's taking you. Open your heart and go forward with trust and faith. That doesn't mean go blindly. Obviously, you need to protect yourself to a certain extent, but open your heart. Be willing to accept love, to acknowledge it, and the same for your partnerships. Be willing to accept what the other person gives you with an open heart and have faith and trust in where this partnership and relationship is headed. Your next step to take in your partnership and relationships is very close to the weekly reading. That's very interesting. Is to know that at the end of this, there is that egg that he's holding, which will hatch something new, brand new, bright. You need to step forward into this, dare one say, light, in order to hatch that egg. So open your heart, have faith, trust, allow growth and expansion, make contact with your true core of yourself so that you know what it is that you need and you want. And you can step forward and then make that step forward. And your outcome is the hero. Incredibly close to the weekly reading. All I can say is I think that weekly reading was very much for you Scorpios. That's the weekly reading of 20th of July. So I would say here where I'll probably add a bit more to it is you're both going to be the heroes in it, in this partnership and relationship. You will come out of this feeling like heroes, as corny as that sounds, but it's true. So if you react with an open heart, with trust and faith, kindness, hope, the story will end just like your story where hero and heroines are involved. It will end well. Okay? But it's up to you to be brave enough to do all these things and be all these things, and then you can have that story with a good ending. Okay, and your guidance for this month is completion. So, in coming through all of this, you will have reached a culmination, a completion. I'd say it's probably some aspect of yourself which has now finally reached a conclusion. You've worked through something in partnerships and relationships, and you finally reached a point where this is now done. You have completed the course in this part of your relationship and partnerships. You can now move on to something new. Culmination can sometimes feel as if you may be losing something, but it's not true. What you're doing is moving on to something better. So some aspect of you, I think more importantly, has now grown, has completed a mission, and you are ready to move on to something bigger and better. It's the next rung up the ladder where your partnerships and relationships are concerned. Okay, Scorpio, so that's your relationship, partnership, love reading for August of 2015. I hope that provided you with guidance, and thank you for watching and listening.